Hi all my crafty friends. Sorry about being late. My phone just did not want to cooperate today. Before we get started with bunny tails and beads, I want to show you what I got in the mail yesterday. I'm so excited. Ooh. So first I got this stencil. It's Psalm 23. It's a really big one. I got a new pattern stencil. It's called Filigree Leaf. And the project I'm doing on Wednesday, this came in time. And so now my project Wednesday will involve that. And then this one is one cross. Snuggle bunny. How cute is that? William's going to be having something to do with that. Happy Easter. My Easter minis. And nope, that was not a new one. And then everything good and perfect. This is Every Gift is what it's called. So how fun. Oh, just a little bit excited. So let's get down to business, okay? What we are doing today is we are going to use what's called roving. And I ordered mine on Amazon, and it comes in little packages like this. And since I had no clue what I was doing, I ordered these maybe, 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm trying to get rid of my craft stash so I can restash. And so anyway, they come like this. So I decided that for my project that I do next, which will be on Wednesday, I wanted to make a bunny ball. And I had this roving and I thought, I have to learn how to do this. So if you can notice a little bit here, I've been kind of sorta playing, just kind of sorta playing. And so I am going to show you how I made my little bunny tails. So this is roving. It looks like this when it comes. This was a little bit longer, but in order to get my ball to the size I wanted it, I was cutting off little strips. I'll get to that when we get to that point. So I'm going to, come on, I'm going to pull out my roving. It's ropes, and it comes in multiple ropes. So you can see there's one, and then I've got another two, which I'm going to set aside just in case I need them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my roving and I'm going to stretch it out a little bit because these fibers are already together, and I want the fibers to work within one another so that, yes, so that we can make our bead and actually get it to be round. So if you think back to the things you learned, I think it was elementary school, but we learned about, well, we played with felt when we did art projects, but there's also woolen felt. But we learned that wool plus water plus heat will give us a more bonded surface. And so because I want to make beads, I'm not going to bond this together or anything by doing that. But I am pulling these fibers apart, and I'm hoping that you can see this as we go down. Whoa! Probably just made a hole in that one, but I'm just very carefully pulling these apart. And so I watched a fantastic woman make these woolen balls, and she was fast. She was really fast. I'm not there yet. I'm just not that. But I love learning new things, and learning really never ends. I mean, you just continue to learn. You learn from your parents in the beginning, and your parents continue to teach you through your life, all kinds of lessons. And you have your formal education, and then you're back to learning things that you want to learn, that you have decided. Get this in high school, I never would have thought this was important. I'd be like, this is dumb. So now that I've got my roving like this, I'm going to just roll this up. Easy, easy, easy to roll. So it's ready for our bath. So in this bath, I'm hoping my water is not too hot, but there's Dawn dish soap as well as water. And so I'm going to take my roving here that I have pulled apart and rolled up, and I'm going to put it in here and get it wet. And then I'm going to roll it a little bit more, and I'm going to put it in my hand and gently. I tend to go clockwise. This is going to take a while. You're not going to be just, you know, bing, bang, boom, and I'm done. But what I want to do is I want my fibers to get used to going in one direction. So eventually they will all be going in that direction. So I don't want to add a lot of heat right now, or pressure, not heat. I just want to roll and roll and roll and roll and roll. And you can see that it's taking its shape. I imagine, I mean, even with my little, I could have used one of my smaller ones as a bunny tail, but I wanted a big woolen bunny tail. So I'm going to put that back in the water just a little bit, and I'm going to keep rubbing. Woo! Did you see me there? I quick change directions. Not a good thing. So we're just going to keep going and going. I was going the wrong way. I don't know if you caught that. I did. I did. So I can see that I have just this little piece that's not going to come in. So I'm gonna try that piece again. I'm trying to weave it in, and it's being funny. It doesn't want to come in with me. So I'm gonna take just a little more of my roving, and I'm gonna get this wet. And then what I'm gonna do is, see how this just isn't laying correctly? I'm gonna put this around my ball, and actually I only want it to fit around the ball once, and then I can already see that I have a little hole. So I want to make sure that I'm also getting that covered, but I'm going to get those fibers going in the right direction first. And again, really hot. This actually is cooler than I wanted. I love hot water, but not like scalding hot. But to me, this could have been a little bit more. So again, I have like that little teeny tiny area. And so I'm, ooh, not good with wet hands. Do that with dry hands. And so I'm not pulling the entire row string. I don't even know what to call it. But again, I'm gonna pull these fibers apart. Now I'm gonna cut this right here. I'm doing just a little bit, and if I need it, I'll just do a little bit at a time, and I will just keep going with that. So then I'm going to lay it over my ball again, and see how all this upper stuff is here? I'm going to start pushing that down into my ball so that I can keep the ball rolling. Ha ha. My dad was really good with jokes. Well, dad humor jokes, but me, not so much. Not so much. And half the time I sit there and look like, huh? I don't even know what you're talking about, but that's okay. So we're just going to keep going round and round and round. And I actually kind of timed it yesterday. And from beginning to end, it took me about 15 minutes to make a bead. And so what I want to do here is I want to stop for a second. I'm not quite there. I'm very close, but I'm not quite there. However, I can start to add more pressure. And so, yeah, it's so easy. I have never looked at any of the hobby stores because actually I had no idea 2 years ago what I was even looking for. I just knew that I wanted to make some. And yes, I'm not kidding you. It took me 2 years to dig this out of my drawer. And so, yeah, it's so easy. And I kept thinking, oh, this is going to be so hard. I should just go and buy them. And, well, when you want a larger bunny tail, you can't do it. And that's not what I wanted. Oh, you know what? I need to add, I'm going to dry my hands here quick. I need to add just a little bit. I have just a little teeny tiny crack in that. And I'm going to cut this again. Do this with dry hands. If you notice, I did it with wet hands the first time. And then when you put it in the water, it will break apart. So I just kind of dipped it just so I have it together. And then I'm going to figure out, I can feel it right here. And so I'm just going to take that again and I'm going to roll, just kind of flatten those over it. You don't want to wrap around and around because then you'll end up with the exact same problems. You don't want that. And I'm going the wrong way again. Oh my gosh. It has to be because I'm here with you. It's just so easy to do things by yourself. But it happens. So anyway, we're going and going and going and going and going. My husband claims he's been working longer than I have, and I have to tell him, no, you actually haven't been working. I stayed with an employer for 29 and a half years, but I certainly put other time in with, working at church preschool and working in daycares and doing parent education classes, all kinds of things before I actually became a classroom teacher. And I'm fine with that. It was good. I enjoyed it all. Okay, where's my, I don't want to, I have towels. What am I doing? Sitting on them. Okay, so I have a towel, and before I pick this one up, how are we doing? Pretty close, but since I have more of this, I'm going to, again, I'm just going to pull it apart really quick. These are just so easy. If I wanted to do a lot of these, and remember, white wool is winter white. It's not a bright white. This is not white. It's kind of that. Just kind of think of it as an off-white. And I did not understand that for a long time, but then, you take a textiles class and wow, you learn things you didn't know. But I guess that was the point of taking the class, right? So we're going to keep rolling, but I am doing it again. I'm adding far more pressure to this so that I keep going with that ball. And you can tell that I am because you can see how the suds are now starting to really come forward on my hands, whereas before they were just kind of, yeah, I can actually see them falling into my water. So I'm going to keep going and keep going. Ooh. Okay, I have to keep going because I started going fast again, and the last section I added wasn't ready. And so I'm getting another odd shape here, and I don't want I may have to cover it up with more because I wasn't thinking. That piece was too long. I probably should have cut it, and I didn't. So again, learn from my mistakes. And you know what? It's fine, because when you start, I mean, nobody's going to be perfect. Don't ever think you need to be perfect. Practice, right? You just have to practice. And practice doesn't make perfect. Did you know that? Practice makes progress. And so as you practice and you practice more and practice more, you're making progress to where you're going to make these in like 3 minutes. It takes longer than that to roll balls. Let me see. Do I have an actual ball here? I do. I'm going to do it a couple more times. And then I'm going to set this down because we have one more step. Get my suds off my hands. I am going to set this aside. Wipe off my soap. And now I have another container. This is cold water. And what I'm going to do in the cold water, and I'm going to tell you this, I'm sitting down and I like it because when I did this standing up, I had water dripping down my arms. And when you have long sleeves on, it's the worst. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my cold water, and so what I'm doing is I'm washing all of that soap out, and that helps tremendously. And I'm still getting a little bit of suds on my hands, but I'm just going to want that to drip, 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 drip forever. And so, there we go. Look at that. We have it. Now, I believe if I had taken, oh, it's a little bit smaller, but I'm okay with that. I believe this is, I have to really dry my hands. I'll show you what it actually looks like when it's whole. I had been playing, so you didn't see the entire package. And oh, come on. Okay, so what you're looking for if you go to purchase this is roving wool. And the bags I got, it was like this. And again, here's a better way that you can see. You can see that it comes in bundles. And this particular one has 3. It has 3. It might have 4. Hang on, there's 1. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Didn't get that whole thing. I have to play with that for it. Oh yeah, I messed that one up. Okay, so mine have 3, and they just come like this. So, roving wool, hot water, Dawn dish soap, and cold water. And pressure. Roll, roll, roll. And I'm going to assume if I wanted this to be big enough to be a dryer ball, because you could do that as well. So if you look at these ones, these are the size of beads. Maybe I can get them up there closer. Okay, do you see the difference between my tail and the beads? And you can make them any size. I was really playing around and I made some teeny tiny ones. And doesn't take a lot of your roving to do that. And you know, with this, I started with 1 full strand of this. I think my success came with the smaller ones when I cut this in half, so I didn't have quite as much to begin with. But you're just going to roll and roll until you get the size ball you want, and then wash it out and leave it to dry. So super, super simple. Have fun making your bunny tails and your beads, and I will be back again to show you the project that I specifically made this bunny for. This bunny tail, I should say. So until next time, oh, let's see. Happy rolling. We'll see you later.